fever of America. We're going to talk about that. And we're also going to talk about survival in America. What have we created in this context, this construct of taxes, secret ops, money, and how do we make monies and it's tied with our existence? Stay with me, R.G. Miller, Richard Miller, for American Radio Cast. And we'll be back in a short moment and we'll begin our conversations.
Move forward. Hey, did you get the PO?
Do I have PO?
When a critical email comes in, we work together as a team to come up with the best solution. Did you reply to the client with the new contract?
I've been working all the time with legal on it. I think we need to change the terms again.
Oh no, that ship has sailed. The terms are locked in.
Oh no, they froze us out of the deal.
The deal was fishy from the start.
Told you, we took too much time.
Look, I'm sure that we can save this deal if we just put our heads together.
Do you feel like your team is working in their own little bubbles? Imagine collaborating with your team on inbound customer requests. Comment directly on emails, tag stakeholders, get fast responses from your team right where you need it most. External communication meet internal collaboration, all in the same place.
Welcome back to American Radio Cast. I'm Richard Miller. Here I like to talk about stuff that has specifics and meaning to America. What we got here today on our list is the Trump move. Whether you agree with Donald Trump or whether you disagree with Donald Trump, you must look at the stats. That's what's going on in America. We have gentlemen who have used American media and his business prowessness to bring about not only a TV show, but to swing his views and become one time president of the United States. That's Donald Trump. All of a sudden, I'm looking on TV one day and I be dadgum. What did I see? I saw, because I didn't think Donald Trump was ever going to be possibly reelected or much less picked for a Republican Democratic Party, which is in pieces that I did not know. Never thought this would take place. I looked up there and I saw the crumbs that they had for the Republican Party. Now, I can't speak of all these people's names because I don't remember them completely in a whole, because I'm not a fan of Donald Trump, so don't get this twisted. I'm looking at the unexpected move. And what I'm looking at is that Donald Trump, with his do-or-die fan base, these people will ride with him off the cliff to hell and back and go see God and have a seat and declare their essence in America. 37%. We got to keep that in mind. That is not a laughing matter, because all the crumbs they got together, I think it was about 8 of them, without including Donald Trump, could not muster above 32%. How is it? What is it here? What are we looking at? What I saw right away was that the people have already made their decisions here, or who they're going to vote for. And on top of that, I saw where they were in the same piece of intel, I saw they were taking data and notes about how people felt about Donald Trump. And let's say, for the sake of an argument, all of them didn't like Donald Trump and they had problems with him. That would consider the crumbs I'm going to talk about here. These crumbs went for, there was a black guy running for president or trying to be nominated for to be a candidate to run for president. Then there's DeSantis. There's this woman called Nina, I believe. I may be slaughtering her name, but I saw her. She talked real good. Saw a couple of her clips, and she talked bad about Donald Trump. Said some things that seemed like it could make sense. Now, with that said, there's a couple other guys who were weak on the list, but they were there. I said, now look at here. These other people who are weak on the list are no chance in hell against Donald Trump if they decide to go with him. Now, believe me, audience, keep riding with me and you will see this unexpected move that I saw in this intel. You got this particular woman who I don't see all of America voting for, but I do see a large majority of women voting for this particular woman because she makes sense. And then I see some men who can side or understand her concept of this construct of political prowessness. I can see that taking place. Do I see her winning the election by herself? No, I do not. But her points are speaking up. Her points. I'm talking about her percentages. Then I seen the brother. I think his name was Scott. I think I seen that in his title. He had the most of all the crumbs I was looking at. But his problem was these crumbs are only associated with Iowa caucus at the time. So he may be lesser percentage amongst the rest of the state. But as far as the Iowa caucus was concerned, because that's where this intel was coming from, he would be a fair pick, but the problem is nobody, including myself, know who this man is. I said, oh my God, this is an unexpected move. How is this man going to run for office again when they will not even nominate him? I'm talking about Donald Trump. Then the unexpected move started to formulate. Now, consider all the DeSantis that is being slaughtered for every reason under the sun. It's making it difficult for him to actually become a clear runner for presidency. The Republican Party will be out of their minds and shot in the head to make him their candidate at this particular time and think that they have a chance in winning. And what did I see after I thought about that? I saw the good old boys with cigars talking to Donald Trump behind closed doors at some point. Because at this point that I'm making this American radio cast, Donald Trump is facing charges that he shouldn't get through. And they're trying to make it illegal for him to run. But why are we getting that far? Why didn't they should just been up front what was going to happen? No. That's because we got people in the back making moves, making decisions. And a chess move is about to be happening, and an unexpected move is going to take place, and they're going to talk to Donald Trump. He's going to temper his tone, temper his talk. They're going to crumb together these crumbs, because they need 61% to take the nation's presidency. They know this, 61 to 71%, or there's no chance they're going to even wedge that out of the old man Biden's hands. This is what they know, and this is what they're going for. I see paperwork being drawn up. I see cigars being smoked. And I see some tone of voice. Mr. Trump, you're going to have to tone your voice. You're going to have to say these things because these other individuals who are running with these other candidates that don't have a chance in hell of getting to office, we need them and all of them to put the crumb together, a base for you to align with your base. So you align with the Republican Party. Now, when you align with the Republican Party, these concepts, these crumbs, I see them grabbing that woman to be his vice president. Yes, I do. I see that coming. Donald Trump and the vice presidency, Nina, I think that's her name, they will have, and with the rest of these other individuals who are the crumbs, they will scrap together a policy. A Republican policy, which right now the Republican Party Party is in shambles. So they need to rally the base with the strongest percentage credentials in order to get something done. The unexpected move. Donald Trump and his vice president, the woman, and the policy that he will be handing down to the people will be curtailed, toned down, and we will get a new Republican Party candidate. I'm Richard Miller for American Radiocast, and I'll be back with you after these short, brief messages. From RG Studios. What we're doing here at RG Studios is building something big. Midwest Hollywood. Now, listen. Check this out. When we build these films, build this studio, create these interesting internet art films, make music, we love to give this stuff away for free. But now, in order for this studio to do this, we have to have Patreons who will come to our site, Patreon website. Go to Patreon website, to RG Studios. Donate $2 or $3 a month. And we create these internet art films, music arrangements, things that people love to be entertained, thus be inspired, thus maybe even educated in the end. RG Studios. Go to our Patreon account at RG Studios Patreon. Go to the website, YouTube, RG Studios. I'm RG. I create internet art films. I give my products away for free. DVDs, t-shirts, mugs, pens, pamphlets. I love creating internet art films. It's to express myself. You can go to my Patreon account. On Patreon, it says RG Studios. Be a patron. Donate $1, $2, $3, $5. Every little bit helps. But check this out. When you give a donation, you can also find the links to my eBay accounts. We give away stuff. You can bid on stuff. We give away promotional items, t-shirts. Go to our website. We have other links that go to our eBay site. And you can bid on these things. Stuff that you won't find anywhere else. It's a collectible to those who love internet art films and creativity. Yes, I love this shit. Yes, I do. Because you know why? I work every day at a regular job like everybody else. But I love to create. I found a way to express myself through RG Studios. Through RG Studios Patreon. Go to the Patreon account. On Patreon. Be a Patreon. $3 a month, $2 a month. It helps build the studio. We're building something big. It's called Midwest Hollywood. From RG Studios. And I want to take this special moment to thank our supporters from Patreon. Thanks to you, we have our first award-winning film. Yes, thanks to you, from Independent Awards Film Festival. It will be showing in LA, hopefully, if we are nominated to be screened next year. But we are now a finalist thanks to our Patreon supporters. If you're not a Patreon supporter, please become one. Donate $3 a month to us. Go to Patreon. Get on the website, RG Studios. Become a supporter. Please help us out. We're making films that are fun. And in the core of our films are escapism. And in that escapism is fun and fantasticism. I'm RG. I love that kind of films because back in the 80s when I was going there and films then were like $3, $1.50, they didn't mess around with this crap they got right now. You have that core of escapism. Yes, and I tell you something. RG Studios now has a deal with 9 theaters across the nation. We will bring those films to you if you're in the cities where these films will be playing, and we'll put that information on the websites. So if they're near you, please go and get a free screening of an internet art film, and you'll see the fun these films are. They're no more than 1 hour long. We're not going to keep you in the seats all day blowing around with dumb stuff. We don't do things like that. And I'll tell you something, the best is yet to come in this decade of the new internet art films, because we have passion. We have faith in our work. We are those internet art filmmakers that want to have fun. We want you to feel good when you leave the theaters. We don't want to beat you down with a lot of nonsense. We're not going to do that. Become a Patreon supporter. Help us build this studio to be one of the greatest chorus things that people want. In this core is escapism of films that are missing today. There's no more fun in them no more. A lot of films have lack of fun, lack of escapism, too much beating you over the head, but not an internet art film. We have our first award-winning film, The Wild Bunch, and it will be playing in LA, hopefully, if we're nominated. But we got there.
Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? I travel the world and the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something. Some of them want to use you. Some of them
I'm Richard Miller. I'm back with American Radio Cast. And we have a few things we're going to be talking about. Once again, I told you about the Trump move, the unexpected move, and now we're going to talk about the Enron, an SNL scandal that has become the boiling fever of America. And I will explain when I come back with American Radio Cast. American Radio Cast. I'm Richard Miller. Yes, I tell you, you have to ask yourself about the we in America. What is driving us at some points? We have all this stuff that has happened. Are we learning anything from it? The scandal that was Enron, the scandals that was the SNL, all of it driven for what? The fever of money. That's why. When you look at the core of these things, it's people driving themselves for the sake of them to be rich, to have more. It is an addiction, I tell you, an addiction. The American fever. It's like the times when there was the gold fever, when people rushed to the West to dig for gold. That fever is still with us. That dynamic of a DNA structure is still there. It caused the Enron scandal when millions, hundreds of millions of dollars were basically wiped out. People's retirement fund, 401k, wiped out. SNL scandal. Stocks, hedge fund, capitalist stocks, wiping people's treasury out. It's going to happen again. We got another one going. And this is the boiling fever of America. We have to ask ourselves something. People, we have to wonder, These billionaires with all this money, they have nothing to do with their money except formulate it into a twisting turn of making more money. A lot of billionaires are doing the things that these billionaires right now are doing. If you read anything about Howard Hughes, he spent a percentage of his time trying to figure out how to get some of his tax money back. Bill Gates Foundation Trust making it Bud Light a mistake. He's investing in Anheuser-Busch, $100 million. Bill Gates is a billionaire just like the rest of these billionaires out there, but he's got these formulated marketing ideas. He is not a genius. He's a man with a lot of money and a lot of shit on his time. And an executive said that he's making a mistake investing in Anheuser-Busch. Hell, I don't know, but I know what I see. I see that boiling fever of America that's starting once again. These individuals are taking, these billionaires are taking these steps to invest in things they believe are going to go down and make them some money. There's several different groups here. You have groups that have responsibility to the shareholders who want to make a great product for services, and they have a stake involved in this. Then you have a group who are like the Black Rocks, the State Group, Vanguard Camp. They and perhaps Anheuser-Busch, whose focus is not on the shareholders but capitalism, and unnecessary focuses on activist political organization gain. These things are right there in our face, peoples. I'm telling you. If you haven't been paying attention, you've been living under a rock or you've been hiding in the shadows. These corporations, more like the ones that were created in the movie RoboCop, have become corrupt through the fact of chasing this wealth. Now they have started this political organization activist realm, which is nothing more than a socialist Nazi. That's all they are. And they'll talk about the green this, green that, want to turn everything away from the carbon footprint. These ideological idiots have no clue what they're doing. Most of it is like the boiling fever of America with the Enron scandal, when you got people hedging funds to make to bring funds. Banking in itself was the catapult lever pendulum of this, where you had people, the banking system itself was giving people houses for little and nothing, and the people on the side were making bets on how long this was going to last and betting against themselves. Next thing you know, a boiling fever took place and a crisis was at hand. We have another crisis happening. These socialist Nazis are trying to create another world through the Green Coalition, the CDC, the United Nations, and our old institutions that we've built for other reasons. They're trying to use this to correlate their message of a woke system, a socialist Nazi system. We got to pay attention to this, people. These individuals are beginning another boiling fever of America. It's going to collapse. This fever is going to bring down, and it'll be Uncle Sam that's going to save these individuals from themselves, because they have no clue what the hell they are fucking doing. Not one bit. With their idiotic socialist movement.
I am the frito bandido. I like fritos corn chips. I love them, I do. I want fritos corn chips. I'll get them from you. Hey, does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? Let's find out. 1, 2, 3.
Feel like a double rhyme double on a heavenly level. Bang the bass, turn up the treble. Radical mind, day and night all the time. 714, wise the mind. Maniac, radiac, winning the game. I'm the lyrical Jesse James.
And I'm Richard Miller for American Radio Cast. The boiling fever of America. Yes, I believe some things are going to take place. They're already underway. There's a socialist movement that's happening. And it's crazy. That's why a lot of our things that we used to love and dearly cherish seems to be being rewrote, redone, recast. Yes, they make it seem like they're doing it for the right cause, the right scenarios, replacing particular character-driven people with different nationalities that didn't go well in the begin. If they had done that in the beginning, then it ain't going well now. I don't understand that. Trying to fit a whole world that you did not fucking create into your bubble. Just do what you want. Let people choose what they want to choose. To me, these socialist Nazis are trying to destroy individualism. Like, they're trying to destroy what the American have created. Individualism. I like what I like because I choose to like what I like. I don't want Cinderella to be black. Cinderella, when I watched it, I didn't think of a white or black. Matter of fact, they didn't even ask me. I'm a black man. I didn't want you to change Cinderella into any other nationality just so I can be happy. That's ass kissing is what I think it is. If I like Cinderella, I like it. If you don't like it, well, then you want to make a new Cinderella, well, you go right ahead. But don't do it on my behalf. This is the reason why I didn't like the movie Wiz with Michael Jackson and Diana Ross in it. Because I've watched the original Wizard of Oz for over 30-something years. And I never thought of the people being in the picture as a white nationality. I just thought of them as being characters. But when you change them, of course, they didn't ask me. So when you change them like a socialist Nazi that you are, you're trying to ass kiss for me. I didn't ask you to change that shit. I don't care about you changing it or making a new story, but don't try to erase it like it didn't exist. This is what these socialist Nazis do. They burn everything and try to create a new world. I ain't for that. I'm an American. That's who I am. And America doesn't have a pretty history. I know this. I know the things that happened in America to get it to where it's at. No one said it was pretty. But these socialist Nazis want to rewrite everything so it will fit into a nice little cornered box. The hell with them. The hell with them and the ways. And you know what? They're starting this boiling fever of America once again. That's what they're doing. You don't believe me? Just open your eyes and you'll see your beloved characters that you loved for years. You probably never thought of them as a nationality. You thought of them as characters. Now they want to make you love them as a nationality. Say, wait a minute. Just for instance, if they would have changed Shaft into a white man, I'd say, what the hell are they doing? What the hell are they doing? They're destroying the culture of the black exploitation films to kiss ass for somebody else. Come on, man. You're erasing it now. Oh, of course, it may have not been all light or right at the time that it happened, but it's well loved the way that it is. It's the truth. When Shaft came out way back in 1971, 72, whenever that film come out, It wasn't created to be called a black exploitation. That's them psychologists giving lagging that name to it. But eventually the other films that followed after that became adherent to the word black exploitation. You talk to kids, some that beloved that era and that time, they'll refer to black exploitation not as something wrong or dangerous. It was what it was. It was the times. And these socialist Nazis want to burn up that time, and they want to change it around. Oh, we're gonna make the Shaft. We're gonna make him a Latino or a Chinese. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. You leave it alone. We're gonna make Luke Skywalker a woman. What the fuck is wrong with you? Leave that shit the way it is. Nobody cares about making another. When I went and saw the new Star Wars, the first one now, directed by that director, J.J. Abrams, I said, and I know he was under the gun of the socialist Nazis out there, and I'm like, I'm trying to like this movie, really am. But when they didn't deliver Luke Skywalker like they were supposed to, I had a problem with that. And my problem was, so you tell me you're just redoing Luke Skywalker in another way and you put a woman there? That's what that was? That's not fair to the woman hood at all. You could have created another character as powerful as Luke as a woman, but you didn't have to steal Luke's history. Socialist Nazis. So I was on to him right away with this woke shit. I was on to him real quick. I call them socialist Nazis because they act just like the Nazis from Germany when they burn history. That's what they're doing. But they're using the infrastructure we've already built. People of this world, of humanity, have already built. And they want to restructure it to kiss ass and make the world that they want. Get away from me with that fucking shit. For real. I'm not for it. And I'm making my stand like that. Don't care who I displease or offend. If you're offended, you're a socialist Nazi. And you're hearing me here from American Radio Cast. I'm Richard Miller.
Американская фирма Transceptor Technology приступила к производству компьютеров «Персональный спутник».
I'm Richard Miller, here at American Radio Cast. Join us again for more episodes and more things to speak about that is American. Things we care about. Don't let them out there tell you you're not an individual. You can make up your own mind.